here's the first sneak peek. Had it unboxed or unwrapped. Damn, is it shiny. Hey guys, welcome back. So this is the video you guys have all been waiting for. You and I both have been waiting months for this to go down. So I don't know if you can see behind me here, but I've got a table prepped, got some cylinder heads on there, which I told you we've been waiting months for. Big shout out and thank you to the speedy turnaround from Cylinder Head Service. And then of course we got the STI in the background. So one thing that I've been needing to do for quite a while, which I didn't want to do until it was time to do this video, is break my IAG Stage 4 Extreme out of the box and out of the plastic so that we can do the breather port fittings. I figure we would go ahead and throw that on the table today, unpackage it for the first time ever, and try and see if we can get those tackled. We got some things to do. I'm putting new valve buckets in the cylinder heads there. I had them lashed with some old ones. So basically all we're doing is just we're swapping out the same exact number bucket. We're not going to be doing any modifications to any shimming or anything like that. We just went ahead and purchased the same buckets for the same valves that they're already in now. So I figure we do a two-part video because this is going to be long, in-depth, in detail. There's going to be a lot of information. So I hope you're ready. Sit back, relax, and don't forget to subscribe. Gotcha. All right, let's go. All right, so like I said, big shout out to Cylinder Head Service for getting these turned around so quickly. These are basically it. They are incredibly clean. Got these beautiful cams in there, which are GSC, billet beautiful. That's what I like to call them. We'll go over some of the specs and whatnot with these once we pull them out of the packaging and are ready to start doing some work on them. But other than that, I basically got some parts from Roger Clark Motorsports, like a new water pump, and then these are the wrist pin cover seals. Unfortunately, IAG does not ship out their blocks with wrist pin plugs or cover seals or a rear main seal. So we had to go ahead and purchase those. I'm going to reuse some plugs that I had from the old motor. I'll just replace the crush washers, and we'll go ahead and get this guy all buttoned up, get it prepped and ready, cleaned up, breather port fittings done, and this is going to be your first look at this outside of the packaging. So here we go. Let me go ahead and get it set up. Let's get it. Jesus. All right, there's no going back now. Oh my God. It is like unbelievably beautiful. Look at how shiny it is. Damn. IAG does some killer work, I will say that. All right, so first and foremost, what we're gonna do is, here's the part number. These are basically crush washers for these wrist pin cover plugs, which one goes here, and then there's one right there. It's cool that IAG supplies new transmission aligning pins, as well as these are, I guess, what you would consider the head aligning dowels. So, looks like some assembly lube on there, but we'll go ahead and set those aside for now. This is one of the plates that I was talking about for the RCM. This plate has an O-ring on it and it's gonna go on there. This big shape right here is gonna be that plate there. So, the reason I decided to go with the Roger Clark Motorsports ones is because the OEM version, which I might have one over here. Yeah, I do. The OEM version is way thinner, like way thinner. Seems a little flimsy, you know, this is just like stamped steel or something. Whereas the RCM one is billet. So way thicker. And I feel like, you know, maybe this could be superstition, could be truth or fact, I don't know. But wouldn't you rather have something thicker and potentially stronger like that when it comes to potentially the block flexing back and forth? I think I would too, especially when you're trying to make as much power as these things will literally hold. So here's the first sneak peek at it unboxed or unwrapped. Damn, is it shiny. All right, so per Subaru service manual, they say that the torque spec of these access plates there, or access pins or covers they call them, is 51.6 foot-pounds. And they also say to add some sealant, which they say 3 bond. I say Permatex Ultra Gray. So, from what I can see, at least the front two need some sort of sealant, plus this aluminum crush washer. So, I've already applied it to the first one. We'll go ahead and stick this one in. So I tried to just get it on like the first couple threads, and hopefully it'll chase all the way through as you thread it in. But I've gone ahead and left this one kind of out. And I'm gonna do the same with this one, just to let the Ultra Gray start to set up. And then I'll come back in and we'll go ahead and get the actual torque put down on them. I'll basically just hand tight them till they're hand tight. Now they're both hand tight. I'll just go ahead and let these sit for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and actually torque them. We'll take the last one here and we will do the same exact thing. We'll apply some sealant to it, and then we'll go ahead and put it in that hole right there. Okay, we'll let those sit for a little bit. And we will focus on this one. And we got a weight on this one so that we can put this big cover plate back on. So this is the one we need next. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is take some brake cleaner, and you can see some like oil residue on there. We're just gonna go ahead and clean that off since this guy has an O-ring. And I want to just make sure that the O-ring is seated down on there properly. So go ahead and give this a nice old cleaning. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just be careful of like blue lint. These shop towels really suck for that. So we're gonna go ahead and take this guy. Sorry, I keep saying so. I don't know why. But what I'm gonna do is try and film this with one hand, which is showing to be harder than it looks. We'll go ahead and take this. We'll just thread that first guy in. And we'll find our lost screw here. And we will go ahead and thread that guy in. So there is a torque spec on these guys as well, which we will be following. I think it's like 7.1 foot-pounds. Which really is basically like ratchet tight. But just for peace of mind, we will do it exactly how Subaru wants to do it. So we got a 1/4 inch to 3/8 in our torque wrench, set to 7.1 foot-pounds. Try and find like the biggest Phillips head socket thing that you can, just so that you get the most bite and you don't strip these screws out. But basically all we're gonna do is just, that's literally it. That's all that you need for these guys. Which really is not a lot, right? So that guy's done. Now we're gonna kind of try and see what we can do about these two breather ports here. We're this guy and this guy. I have to get out the torch and some vice grips and see if we can get those guys removed, because we are kind of held up on these at the moment. All right, so after heating it up a little bit and pounding it in with a screwdriver, you can kind of see it here. That's one of the tricks I've been told will work, and basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to fold it in on itself, so you're kind of breaking it free right off the bat. And basically I hit it a couple good times, put the vice grips back on it, and look at this. Oh shoot, now I can't get it to do it. There we go. So, oh, now it's loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down on a little bit of a time lapse and go ahead and get these guys pulled out. It's actually really easy. There you go. One down. I got it, but damn. Now that we got these both out, you can see here and here. Basically, IAG has supplied us with something that looks like this, that comes with a nut and is essentially an AN on the end. This here is the sleeve. This is going to go down in the block. But I just realized that the smaller one, this one, when I took it up to my fabricator, because he did the valve covers with me, I took this one along with the other ones, and I only left this one here at the shop. So unfortunately, I only have the big one, and well, there's some RTV. I only have the big one here at the shop, so the other one's at my house, so we can only do one today. Bummer, but hey, at least we got them out, so it'll be easy from there. This Loctite, IAG also supplies. This is basically like sleeve Loctite, and it is also high temp. So that's cool, little tube here. We'll go ahead and get this guy put in, and I'll do the other one off camera, but I at least wanted to show you guys one of them. So pretty cool. Awesome idea. Thanks IAG for always coming out with killer products. Yeet. Nice and seated. Loctite should be all good. We can probably check from the back here, which I don't see any. So basically that's it. Literally apply some Loctite to it, start tapping it to get it to go in evenly, and then you'll probably want something that has a little bit more force than a soft blow, just because they're pressing. So one down, one to go. Let's go ahead and adjust the wrist pin cover seals. We'll take our 14mm hex socket and a torque wrench at 51.6 foot-pounds. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen and see if we can go ahead and get this guy sealed up with a bead of RTV and installed as well. And basically it'll be almost ready. Well, it will be ready to be put on the engine stand. One step closer, baby. I kind of got a little carried away, I apologize, but as you can see, it is 99% done. The only thing left we have to do is to do the block breather. Unfortunately, I left that at home, like I mentioned. So that is not, however, going to limit us from putting it on the engine stand. So let's go ahead and get it on the engine stand. What do you say? Yeah? 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 I didn't film putting in the rear main seal, but that's just because I just decided to start working. So the only thing with the rear main that you got to worry about is that literally it is completely flush with the metal all the way around. No more, no less. So pretty simple, nothing crazy. You know, run your finger across it, fill a lip, pound it in just a little bit more. I used a socket and a hammer, so dumb. I'm dumb. Idiot. But hey, so let's get on the engine stand. Let's keep on ripping. visual on the cylinder heads because damn, they're a freaking work of art. But we found a good point to stop for the block for now, because we need to do some things to the heads, like switch out the buckets. Plus I just want to run over all the casting, because of all the machine work and everything that was done. I just want to make sure if there's any like rough edges or sharp edges, that this is the time that we go ahead and file them down, make everything fit nice if it doesn't already, and just a quick once over, show you guys kind of everything that's in it before we go ahead and bolt them to the block. So because of that, I went ahead and wrapped up the engine block for now, because I really wanted to dive into these heads. Guys, big shout out to Cylinder Head Service. The machine work, everything is, from what I've seen, is pretty damn amazing. Their turnaround was super quick, and on top of that, they were very affordable. So if we're able to make some really big power like I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they're gonna be somebody that we turn to quite a bit for future work. So let's just go ahead and bust into these heads. I'll probably end the video after we finish the heads here, and we'll continue into the second part. I don't want to make this one too long, but at the same time too, I am getting a little bit tired. I have to work in the morning, so building an engine takes a while, and you want to make sure everything's super clean and just make sure that you take your time. So I'm taking my time. I'm really going through everything, making sure everything's torqued properly, everything looks good, everything feels good, and basically we, make sure that I have 100% peace of mind. So let's get it. All right, so we decided to go with GSC S3 282 maybe billet cams. Man, these things are beautiful. They're shiny. You can literally see like the billet marks in them, maybe. But yeah, these are billet steel. Super nice. I mean, holy crap. The lobes are freaking massive. So from my understanding, these are the highest lift cams for Subaru for like an off-the-shelf part. We did have to wait several months because of back order for these things. So fingers crossed that they perform and make big power like I'm hoping. If not, we're probably gonna go back down to like an S2, just because I don't want all of it to be, above 6,000 RPM. I do want there to be some mid-range and stuff in there too. But for now, we'll go ahead and give these guys a shot. The port work, the port and polish is freaking phenomenal. Knife edges, super smooth. Like, wow. On top of that, I sent them used heads and they came back looking damn near brand new. I mean, look at how well they got all the stuff off. So huge shout out to Cylinder Head Service. So let's go ahead and get these torn out, get the cams out, and we'll go ahead and start pulling some buckets. And I got a whole bag right there from Subaru that has all of our parts that we need. So here we go. Okay. On all these, I'm just gonna oil them up and drop them in. But one thing I wanted to touch base on is when these go in, They should fit very, very, very snug, but they should literally go in with a couple finger taps. If not, don't force it. And then they should spin nice and freely inside. If not, there's an issue. But all these feel awesome. And they all went in nice and smooth. Oh yeah. Yeah, you want them to be able to spin freely because, like I said earlier, when the cam comes across it, these buckets spin. And, you know, all this stuff is happening in fractions of a second. So you want to make sure that these aren't binding up. If they bind up, the cam will just wear a groove right in the middle of it and destroy the bucket. Or the bucket will lock up and just shatter itself, and then, you know, there you got issues. The reason I wanted to do all this is because if you see like right here and right here, you can see it a lot better, like there and there, there. That's all machining that has been done because of how big the cam lobes are. Like, that's machining that has to be done. So the reason I wanted to check is because if by any chance machining that left some kind of groove on the inside of this circle here, I didn't want the bucket to like hang up on the edge, on that sharp edge or something, and cause us any issues. But looks like our driver's side head, left head, is all good. So we'll go ahead and slap our cams back in. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on top of the buckets here just so they don't rust or anything. And when we get them torqued down onto the motor, we'll go ahead and RTV them and actually put assembly lube on everything. But for now, all we were trying to do is just swap out the buckets. I'm just gonna go ahead and bust this one out, and I'll catch you guys up when we're done. That's gonna wrap this one up. We went ahead and got the cylinder heads all back together, at least, you know, finger tight together, enough to where we can package them back up and store them overnight until we come back tomorrow. But pretty much ready to go ahead and bolt them onto the block. I need to grab thread chasers for the head bolt holes on the block, and I forgot my Joe Gibbs assembly grease at home. So I'll bring those two things tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and get these bolted onto the block and pick this up where we left off. But guys, some of the parts that we're running this time around, like for instance this Roger Clark Motorsports water pump, this is like the cast impeller style wheel, or cast wheel impeller style. That's late. It comes with like all these gaskets, and big shout out to them for these like really awesome OEM plus type goodies. IAG does a lot too, and this time around we're running pretty much everything IAG. So super pumped about that. Just got the timing belt kit from IAG as well, so I'm excited to slap that on. But if you haven't already, guys, it really helped me out if you guys took 5 seconds, like right now, I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, I'm just kidding. But if you'd click that subscribe button for me, I would truly appreciate it. We're growing, and I would like to just continue to keep going more. There's plenty of more content to come. This is the moment where everything starts to come together. So I'm super stoked that you guys are here. But again, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. My YouTube analytics say that like 48% of you guys that watch these videos aren't subscribed. So click the subscribe button. It's free, totally free. What are you gonna lose? Nothing, I don't know. A race? I'll race you. Okay guys, I'll shut up. So with that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.